everyone, and welcome to the session 0 of Mage the Ascension Bedlam. If you're tuning in right now, you just watched the fantastic opening that Mike down in the corner made. Actually, down in that corner. So thank you very much. Mike did a lot of great work on that, and that included the music of our friend Tim Kulig, who actually inspired the name of the chronicle with that title, Bedlam. Welcome. This is a Mage the Ascension title that is going to be set in 1926 in Seattle, Washington. If you're tuning in for the first time right now, this game was originally released on the Dork Tales Patreon and came out about 3 months later on other sources. And we're really glad to have you here. I'm your storyteller for this adventure. My name's Kelly, I use he and him, and I am a longtime Mage the Ascension player. In fact, it's the first chronicle that I ever played, back when I was just a wee baby role player, trying to find my footing. I got thrown into Mage, and it changed my life forever. I've been running it for the past quarter of a century, and that feels weird to say. So I guess on the anniversary of my 26th year of playing Mage, we're going back to 1926, and we're going to be telling a story that has a lot of fun, a lot of horror, and a lot of that Mage charm that only Mage the Ascension can bring. But I can't tell this story by myself. I have a wonderful crew with me. So, before we begin, why don't we go ahead and have everybody say hello. Let's go in a big circle, starting with Caitlan. Caitlan, welcome.
Hello, thank you. I'm Caitlan. I use she, her pronouns. I am petite medic in the chat, or I don't know what I am on YouTube. I'm probably just me on YouTube, actually. And all social medias, I'm petite medic. Yeah, and you can find me on other Dork Tale stuff, like Cold Iron Saturday nights, and Descend into Inverness every second Tuesday. And I always forget. I think that's about it for now. And here, on Mage.
That's true. On Mage.
Yeah.
Finally getting you in some Mage.
Yeah. Oh, and Mage was my first one too.
It was, because you were
Chronicles
in my LARP. And you played your Celestial Chorister Chastity?
My Chorister Charity.
Charity. I knew it was one of the virtues.
With an IE. Yes.
Yeah. It was.
I started it.
Yeah. Speaking of someone who is also virtuous, it's Chris.
That is the nicest thing anyone said about me, at least today. Hi, I'm Chris. I use he or they pronouns. It is great to be back on Dork Tales. I am so excited to be back. I was playing Sindri in Lost Man's Vendelver with Caitlan, and I have not been playing Mage in a hot minute. The last Mage game I played was Kelly's LARP in Victoria, redacted a number of years ago, and I left off playing a really... yeah, yikes. Some syndicate jerk who I loved, and that was the last time I played with Mike, so this is really great to be back, and it's my first time playing with Traz, so super excited to be back. Thank you so much.
Quick note, Marith's great-grandfather makes an appearance in Season 3 of Victorian Age.
I'm so excited to catch up on it. I'm just starting Series 3, and it's so good.
You're in no rush. That game has been cursed, so eventually we'll run. Down beneath you, another person that was cursed to be in my Mage LARP. It's Mike.
Wait, this is a curse? You told me it was a blessing. Hi everyone, it's me, Michael, back here again on Dork Tales. You can usually find me over on Avernus, but today I'm in a less warm place, and I'm gonna be hanging out with these lovely wait, do you call them magicians? Mages? Yeah.
Magicians.
Magi?
Yeah.
I don't know the actual term, but yeah, whatever happens, we're gonna create some magic, so
that's true. And finally, creating the magic with us is Trazelta, who's getting his feet wet by jumping into not one but 2 monthly Mage games.
Yes, I am. I am Trez. I use he, him pronouns, and yes, you can find me here in Technocracy, then the other cursed game, Hunter.
Yep.
And Panic, I said, I realize I'm mainly strictly on Patreon games right now.
Yeah, you mostly defaulted to Patreon. I'll get you in something weekly again very soon, or at least bi-weekly.
You're exclusive.
You're exclusive. We're exclusive. So I wanted to give a big shout out to all of you You folks have been very patient while we've been getting this up and running. The original idea was we were going to get this started, I think, in April or May. Kind of like 1 month behind Dominion, but life and all sorts of things. Oh, we were going to do it in May. That's right. And things just kept pushing it back. So now it's July and we're doing it now. I also wanted to give a big shout out to Mike, first of all, before we go any further, for doing all of the graphic design. Our artist, Brahahaga, who you saw in the opening and we'll be seeing more of in future endeavors. And also to Chris, because Chris has been rabid about getting this game off the ground. Like, honestly, anytime I was like, oh, I'm so tired, I don't want to think about Mage, I would get like, he would like be monitoring my thoughts and would send me a message about how hyped he was. And I'm like, fine, I'll get out of bed and I'll read the Book of the Fallen again or something like that. Why do I need that book? But anyway, so folks, if you have never... Ruh-roh. If this is your first time joining us, Dork Tales is a actual play tabletop group located out of the Pacific Northwest, mostly Canada, but we dip our toes down into the Seattle area to get Traz, and we also have some people across the coast and all over the world. But we are largely a Canadian production. I'm an American expat that moved up to Canada, so I bring all of my own baggage with me. With that said, I love Seattle. I think it's a fantastic city to run a game in. And the impetus for this game was the idea of what if we could run something that drew from the pulp horror roots of the 1920s and 30s without the problematic elements that they carry with them. Could it be done? And people pushing me to run a certain call of game, and because I really like the era, and I'm like, oh, I just really don't like all the subject matter, and I don't like dealing with, I don't love the craft very much, or at least like what the dude represents. Wait, I can just run this in Mage. I had the epiphany, and that's where this game came from. We were going to run a modern day game, and then I realized that I could run something that was set in like a pulp era that would be both historical and would allow us to play with continuity and timeline, which I love. Also, little known fact about Mage the Ascension, there's tons of stuff in the Victorian era, the Dark Ages, and the Enlightenment. And there's nothing in the 1920s. It's almost like someone should write something for that. But it means that we have a lot of ground to play with, and I'm excited to get into this. If you do not know anything about Mage the Ascension, the 30-second spiel is that Mage the Ascension is a storytelling game set in the world of darkness, the same world as Vampire the Masquerade, Werewolf the Apocalypse, and other games like that. In Mage, you are playing a human being that has a shard of creation, of an inner intelligence, an inner light that allows you to shape the world around you. Theoretically, every human has this, but unfortunately, due to many circumstances that go beyond this 30 seconds, those lights have been dimmed. They are considered asleep, where you are awakened to the true potential and are trying to reshape reality to fit what you believe is best. One part hero, one part villain. You are forging your own way in a world of darkness. That is Mage the Ascension. It goes a lot deeper than that, but that's the basic idea, is that you're playing will workers who use magic to change the world around them, but their magic is based off what they believe and how they believe it, which means that you can both have someone who is a faith healer healing someone next to someone who believes they do it through the power of meditation, next to someone who believes they do it with strange chemicals that they have appropriated from the Amazon basin. Like, it's pretty dope, and it's one of my favorite games, if not my favorite game of all time. So, as we jump into this, this is going to be Bedlam. Bedlam is going to be a game with a lot of horror elements. We're going to tread lightly as we go through this, because mental health is, of course, constantly on our minds. A lot of us work either with mental health and healthcare, or have all sorts of mental health issues ourselves. So with that, the idea of treading across the problematic subjects of madness and trauma, especially this close to World War I, are going to be prevalent. We're going to try to tread carefully, but also have some fun. We don't want to be handcuffed by this. So with that, we're going to be talking about a bunch of things and kind of going over a number of things today that will cover madness and mental health. If that is a deal breaker for you, please know that that's what this chronicle will consist of. And there will be a lot of dark elements in here that will not violate TOC. We're going to go over our personal limits in a bit so that we can discuss what our lines and veils are. But if any of those are not inside of your comfort level, we want you to be comfortable as well. So feel free to skip this one, or if it's particularly egregious, I will put it in the show notes below. But then again, our limits are not yours, so, watch responsibly. Okay, so this session is going to be about summarizing basically like what we're doing, what we're playing, and then we're going to be talking about magic itself, rotes, and trying to kind of build this setting and community together. So first of all, this game is going to run once a month on Fridays. It's going to be running in a gap that was supposed to be there in Vecna Eve of Ruin before that game got cursed to run like once a month. So it's going to run at least once a month. Sometimes it may double up, but for the most part, I think that we're once a month. It is going to be on a 3-month cooldown for YouTube, and then later we'll be going on podcast. And that's basically what you need to know about the logistics of the game. What I'd like to do now is let's talk a little bit about our characters. Let's introduce them to the audience and each other. So we have met before this to build the characters, because that takes forever on stream and is not nearly as fun as people think it is. So I want to get to know us, starting with, let's go in reverse order. Traz, tell me about Victor.
So Victor, I was married, has a daughter, is a chemist, and mainly focuses on remedies for home, like water-resistant ink, varnishes, things for like dried out hands, and maybe a little something to get around prohibition for the drinkers, because can't really buy alcohol right now. He tries to serve the community as best as he can. He's just also a bit naive and tries to see the good in everybody else, which may or may not have gotten him into some debt and trouble with certain people.
Nice.
It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I love it. I love it. Cool. And so you're playing a member of the Society of Ether.
Yeah.
And this is going to be high science for you. So the one thing I would like to caution you with is that a lot of people who get into playing Sons of Ether or / Society of Ether members, they don't go quite far enough in the pursuit of science. They try. It's very easy to think too small or too technically when you're playing a member of the Society of Ether. So feel free to let your freak flag fly. Like,
noted.
Seriously, like Etherites are much more likely to like tie a key to a kite than they are to, I don't know, synthesize a compound like Tony Stark. Like, you're doing Frankenscience in a lot of ways, so have fun with it. All right, Michael, tell me about Gilbert.
Well, Gilbert is originally transplanted from England, and so I'm going to have to try to pull off my English accent, which should be entertaining. I'm not going to do it now, no spoilers. But he has traveled the world in pursuit of something. He's not sure what, but something is always pulling him or pushing him. Again, he is not sure what. And he is charismatic. He is entertaining. He is going to be
Stop describing yourself.
The kind of person who will be like making everyone feel at home around him. And Gilbert prefers to go by Snow because he feels that names have power, largely because of all of his time that he spent in different parts of the world that are generally parts of the Commonwealth, and that included India. And it transformed a lot of his spiritual thoughts and beliefs. And he kind of ended up in America, changing all of his thoughts and belief into becoming a fortune teller, or as many people would like to believe, he's a charlatan, but more times than not, he is correct with his fortune and telling. So I'm looking forward to kind of diving into a character who's a little bit more charismatic and spiritual rather than the physical characters I tend to usually play.
Nice. So, and you've specifically played a Euthanatoi before, so you're playing another Euthanatos for the second time, I suppose, after your first mage character, Zero Billings.
Yeah, this time I'm not going to be a zero. This time I'm going to be a hero, and
Nice.
I'm going. You know, the Euthanatos like to lean into how life is like a wheel. Everything works in cycles, and that character was more about death, and this character is probably more about life and what you can learn from the end of that cycle. So I'm looking forward to playing something a little more positive.
Nice. I'm excited about that too. I like seeing you play characters that are socially forward. Like, I think that you've got a lot of untapped potential there as a performer that I really want to see you explore.
I like playing a death mage because now I can play kind of a life mage.
Right? That's kind of nice. Above you, Chris. Oh boy. Now, Raoul is a hot mess. Tell us a little about him.
Raoul Ducasse Bani Sagus is a hermetic. I'm excited to go back to playing one of my favorite traditions. What I'm looking at here is someone who's more reserved, less nice, very by the books, by the rules, but less nice. So maybe a hermetic. One thing I've traditionally done a lot of the time while I'm playing games is I come in with like, oh yeah, I'm gonna be this badass, but I'm gonna try and like, and then I end up being like a puppy, a golden retriever. I'm like, hello friends, I just want to be liked, and I'm going to try very like consciously going in, I'm going to be aware of that and try and dial that back a little bit.
Okay.
He studied in California, got his start there, and then when he awoke, something very bad happened, and he was disowned by his mentor, and he fled to Seattle to try and rebuild his life and his reputation from there. So he has the background. What is it called? I actually taint of corruption, meaning that every time he does like good magic, it's really hard, and it's really easy to do really nasty, mean magic, and that has stained his resonances as well. So his other merits are like he speaks Latin, he has a manifest avatar, he speaks Greek and has an iron will, and then has this like terrible, awful thing going along with it. And his mentor is chasing him down, or at least very aware of his behavior and keeping an eye on him. So that's another kind of thing. I'm excited to actually play a character with a lot more mind. That's something I'm really excited about, especially if we're dealing with themes of madness. I think it might be a really interesting like power to bear. I also think it's really interesting that a lot of the discourse around like enchantment and mind magic in gaming spaces, it's like, oh, this is the darkest thing. I'm like, people kill each other with magic, and like like yeah, mind stuff is bad, but like if everyone's like, but you use mind magic, I'm like, you just killed the guy.
Yeah,
So
I'm
excited to see
like,
yeah. So I'm very interesting to see how everything plays out. So I've talked a lot. I'm gonna hand off.
No, that's really good. And finally, Caitlan, I know you've been really excited about Betty. Tell us a little bit about her.
Yeah, Betty. So I'm playing Elizabeth, not Bowtry, Battenburg.
Elizabeth
Battenberg.
Bathory. Betty Battery?
Yeah, I know. No,
Betty
Bowtry.
Battery's a
No.
great name for a robot, though. Keep going.
She is, yeah, so she's from the cult. She's a cult of ecstasy mage. She's like an heiress party girl, kind of finally a socialite, finally kind of going out on her own. She decided to move out, start her own life, and is really involved with the arts. Not really performing herself, but just like, here, take money. Here, let's party. Let me support you in any way that I can with daddy's money. Her relationships with her parents is a little bit iffy, which is actually something I'm kind of interested in playing with, because I usually just have my parents in the background, or they're like really on really good terms, or you just never see them. So I'm excited to have that kind of dynamic. And being like the middle child of like a large family where perhaps she wasn't, focused on because she didn't have the great successes first, like the older siblings, and she doesn't need to be babied like the babies. So,
How old
yeah.
is she?
What a
She's
great
like,
question. What did
I
I
know
say?
I know I
Like
asked you in the survey.
21?
Yeah, so it's kind of
I don't
fun
even
because
know.
this is and Dork
21?
Tales, in case you have not tuned in, we have a lot
21.
of femme presenting people in our casts. Like, we're very femme and queer focused. Like, we have a lot of people. It's I can't keep guys. I don't know what it is. They anyway. But this game, you are the only femme character in
The
this
only
game.
one. Yeah.
And so I just want you to know that I'm going to be leaning into the historical era, but I'm not going to be overbearing with it. I want this to be fun for you, but I don't want to be I don't want to do anything that is going to make you uncomfortable with the era. So if we ever
Yeah,
traipse
for
that, or if
sure.
you or if you want me to be a dick, like, let me know, and then
Yeah,
you can
and I
always
mean
just
that
blow up my
works
car.
too. Because I also was thinking I kind of built her with that idea in mind too,
Okay.
of the era and of kind of what, you know, women are supposed to do and not do, and how is from like a higher society family. So really what she does is kind of infringing on the family name, and she's kind of like, whatever, I don't care. But it might bite her in the butt with her social butterfly syndrome.
Nice. And you
Yeah.
are playing a member of the Cult of Ecstasy,
Yes, I
right?
said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like your first time doing that,
Yeah.
though, because normally you played like
Oh, that
Chorister,
too. Yeah.
you played an
Chorister.
Akashic for a little bit.
Oh yeah, Mishka. I liked her very much.
Mishka was great. That was a good costume.
She was so fun.
Progenitor?
Thanks.
A progenitor,
Yeah.
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 You were a progenitor until you weren't.
Yeah. Yeah.
Womp womp.
What happened?
She got killed.
She died.
Oh yeah, you weren't in
Yeah,
that game.
it was a group effort actually. There was a lot of shit that happened. Yeah. It was the luck of the draw, literally.
Yeah, literally.
It happens.
It was.
Yeah.
She got like crushed by a building or something. It was wild.
No, she got like shorn by the Avatar storm, I think.
Oh, that's right. That hey,
Yeah.
you know what you guys don't have to worry about at this point? The Avatar storm. Going to the spirit world is
Sweet.
real easy, and I'm seeing at least one of you can do that right now.
Someone nods very vigorously.
I'm very excited about that because spirit magic can be absolutely great. All right, so does
She's
anybody
also a member
have?
of the Cult of Venus. I'm so excited. I like that.
I like it
I
too.
like it.
You get some cool stuff. The Cult of Ecstasy was my first tradition when I was playing, and I love them. You know, sex, drugs, rock and roll, and jazz music. It's
Right?
dope. So for this game, folks, just to keep you up to an idea of like what we're doing, we are using merits and flaws. We're using the traditional Mage 20 engine, which is this phone book right here. And that's my working copy. And we are also going to be using a couple of modified house rules. I'll be getting to those in a couple of minutes, but the first rule that actually is important is that we're using merits and flaws, and we're also using my favorite system that was introduced in a book in Revised called Guide to the Traditions, adversarial backgrounds. And the way that we have done it is adversarial backgrounds. There are so many backgrounds, which are basically they're the character's background traits, not really quantifiable by like how strong you are, how smart you are. It's how many friends do you have, right? You could be the most obnoxious guy in the world and still have a ton of friends. How much money do you have, etc. So there are so many types of background that you can get. I always allow my players to start the game with 1 point of avatar for free. Avatar is the size and strength of your inner inspiration that allows you to channel the energy of existence and reality. You can trade this in for something else. If you don't want it, cool. You get an extra background point for free in my games. Period. You can put it into resources if you'd rather have money than soul. However, adversarial backgrounds are anti-backgrounds. I let my players take up to 5 of them, and those can be put immediately into more backgrounds. These are things like debt. These are things like enemy, rival, which is different than that. Rival house if you're a member of a chantry. It can be things like being blacklisted from something. If you were a doctor and now you're not, you know, it can be having notoriety or infamy, things like that. Does anybody have any adversarial backgrounds that they want to share so that people would know right off the bat? This is optional. All right, Chris, what do we got?
My mentor is a saboteur. That's a 2-dot flaw there, or adversarial background.
Cool.
So we'll show up probably.
We'll show up, or we'll at least send some people to ruin you. So saboteur, he's trying to ruin your reputation and make things bad for you. Perfect. Anybody else have anything they want to throw in? What do you got, Trez?
I'm gonna have a few. They're all kind of related to the same group of people, but I have enemies. I'm surveyed, and I have a debt.
Who's surveying you?
Whoa.
The people I owe a debt to, and I'm working for.
Oh, fair.
But who it is, you'll find out later.
Hey, boss, do I have to speak like this when we bring the characters together? You get what you deserve.
Honestly, one of them, yeah, probably.
Yeah. I got this guy named Zero Billings. He's here to break your legs. All right, Mike, what do you got?
He won't just stop at the legs. I've got flashbacks, curse, and rumors.
Perfect. So we'll have to figure out did you have an idea for what your curse is? So like a little 2-point curse? Or do you want to work that out privately?
Part of me wants like his former dead wife to kind of show up like everywhere. Like I forget what movie it was, but I think it was a werewolf movie where it was like his best friend would like
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah, and he'd just be like this dead person that would just show up and talk to him like constantly and be like, shut up, and other people would be like, who are you talking to? And I think that would be an awesome kind of
nice
kind of a curse.
That can fall under curse, absolutely. And then flashbacks is going to be like the opposite of God, what is it the opposite of? It's the opposite of past lives, where you have do you want this to be from a past life, or do you want this to be from a personal trauma, or both?
Yes, both.
Okay, cool. Perfect.
I think messages from like previous lives or just like history showing up at inopportune moments, trying to like teach them a lesson, be like, look, you should know better than this because you went through this once before, would be amazing.
It has been 200 years since I was a Gurkha. What are you talking about? I don't remember anything. Oh, that's perfect. All right. And then rumors, rumor has it. Caitlan, do you have any adversarial backgrounds that you want to share?
I do. Yeah, they're not as exciting as everyone else's, but I have nightmares and I also took flashbacks. They could be. I just imagined a scene where she's just like dancing, having a good time, and then all of a sudden just get this like flashback and you're like blah blah blah.
Blah blah. That can be from something traumatic in your life. We're going to delve deeply into trauma. I'm sure that you have some type of dark secret in your background that's going to come out.
And you know what? I feel like maybe she has amnesia. Like she's just lost a few years of her earlier life.
That explains why she's not really dating.
And then she gets flashbacks.
Like she's not really courting or anything, right? Like she doesn't have, there's like not a
really.
man
she's just living life.
Right? Yeah. And at 21 in the 20s, like you're starting to get up there. So
that's true. Yeah.
Perfect. All right. Does anybody have any merits or flaws that they want to mention, or should we just continue? All right. Oh, sorry. Were you waving or were you?
Sorry. I was waving. I was swatting at a fly. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Keep going. Move on.
Go on. No, stop it, you old bag.
Fly. Oh my God.
I have a 3-dot node somewhere.
Put gas in the bag, you old bag.
Yeah, you do.
Anyway.
All right, perfect. So we've got a bunch of merits and flaws. Some of them are really good. Some of them are, I'll try to make sure that things like language Latin or other things like that actually make it to the game. I'm very excited though to talk about other things. So language, we don't really need languages beyond that. So let's jump into how magic works. So we're using a mishmash of Mage 20 and revised rules for magic. So what this means is that we're going to be using a couple of different hacks. The first is, in Mage 20, they really boil down the magic system into like, it feels like catchphrase foci. Like, might makes right is my belief system. It's like, okay, yeah, but what is that's a really shallow interpretation of what magic can be, and we're here for the grad level talk about this. So might makes right means what? That you follow like the cult of Jupiter and believe that on certain nights of the et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, right? Or perhaps you are, you believe in the world tree and you hang yourself from it once a year to gain the powers that Odin gained or something, right? So in this, there are a couple of things that are going to be really useful for you. For one, we are going to be using specialized foci. So in ours, anything that fits your paradigm, your belief system, can be used to cast your magic. However, and please remind me if we went over this during our character build session that was off camera, but each of you has the opportunity, and in fact, I encourage you to have a specialized focus for each of your spheres. The specialized focus is not to the exclusion of anything else. It is simply better at doing that for you. Best example of this would be, there's so many good examples, but Betty, perhaps music is your time focus. You can do it with drugs, you can do it with exercise, you can do it with like any type of like physical or sexual thing, but honestly, if you put on some jazz, time magic is just easier for you. It's maybe it's how you learned it. Maybe it's just what you vibe with. Raoul, maybe forces needs that Latin. Like it just needs some Latin, which means that if someone, puts a gag in your mouth because you've been kidnapped by the mob, you can still cast magic if you can draw a rune on the ground. But it's a step easier. So everyone, if you're having any questions, pick something that is specialized enough for each of your spheres. And it's not per dot, it's per sphere, forces, time, matter, etc. If you want to be extra, literally extra, you can take what is called a unique focus. A unique focus is usually a physical object. For example, I have a tuning fork that allows me to see the dead when I ring it. It is my spirit focus. If I lose this ancient tuning fork, I can't get it at Walmart. I have to go on a quest to get a new tuning fork that is this good. But I'm really good at casting spirit magic with it. Like, better than anybody else has any right to be. The way these work is a specialized focus will give you a 1-point break on your difficulties for casting magic. A unique focus gives you a 2-point break. And when you are dealing with some of the numbers for tabletop that we are, that 2-point break is real strong. An example of this in play that we've had is Robin's character Darcy in our Victorian Age game has a spell book that is her mother's book of shadows. It is her life focus, her unique life focus. I've taken it away from her on several occasions. And the only way to cast magic while using that sphere is you have to basically spend willpower like you didn't have a focus to cast magic. And it is hurt. But she's also done some pretty powerful things with life magic because she's had that. So does anybody need any help picking out what they want to do for their foci? Does anybody need any advice? So you've got cards there, Mike. I'm assuming that's probably your entropy focus.
It's probably going to be my spirit focus. I have a crystal ball that I'm going to use for my entropy focus.
Nice. Okay, so fortune telling, chance.
Fortune teller. You need the crystal ball and the tarot deck. So yeah, he's
that's
leaning
pretty great.
heavily into the tropes.
Perfect. All right. Does anybody need any suggestions? Traz, how are you doing?
I could use some suggestions because this is the one
Sure.
part that kind of fries my brain because it's so open.
So absolutely. Just give me 1 sec to pull up the book for this. So Mage revised. Go. Okay, just pulling up some PDFs for you. So the Sons of Ether are pretty great. And they've got a lot of fantastic foci that you can draw from. So some of the really easy ones, the best thing about being an Aetherite, honestly, is that a lot of your foci are always there because you are a material scientist. Like you are mostly, unless you are dealing with like a really highfalutin, like theoretical science, you are dealing with physiological things. You have devices, you have various different types of equipment. So here are some really basic ones, and they can be occult mechanics, crypto technology. You could deal with biology or medicine. Honestly, you could just be biology and medicine, but like the weird side of it, right? So, for example, you can honestly just use chemistry.
Yeah, I was thinking about using chemistry probably for matter, since that's
Obviously, yeah. Use like that's totally fine. So I would just say use chemistry for that. You need access, like when you have access to a chemistry set, you are much better. Psychic powers is one that actually, yeah. Oh, dude, think about like the 1920s and like Doc Savage and like those type of characters that had like that pulp, like, by training my mind using this repeated mimetic technique, I have made it so that I can enhance my mental faculties and be stronger than I should be. You know? So you could absolutely do that. Let me just check your sheet real quick. So looking at your sheet, you've got, there we go. You've got matter 3, you've got prime and forces. So forces, there are a lot of ways to do forces. It could just be physics. Like it could just be physics. Like that could just be what you want to take. For prime, it could be psychic energies. It could be enlightened humanities, like the Orgone technique, or it could be psychology. It could be all manner of things that you could use for prime magic. It really depends on how you see it. So metaphysical ether is kind of the way that etherites look at the prime sphere. So more or less, many scientists believe that matter energy in an indeterminate state, a waveform that ether science collapses into different phenomenon, exists. So Platonic etherites believe that prime holds the forms, and they create Platonic machines in the astral umbra to test idealized versions of their inventions. Some people believe that it's the final state that objects go through in the Heraclitean transformation as they convert into pure basic reality. So what the Sons of Ether Revised suggests is psychic techniques, magnetic fields, alchemically perfected materials, mathematical formulae. So
probably
it could
use that one actually.
Mathematical formulae.
Yeah, because he carries a book around him. It probably has a bunch of random equations
do
in
it.
it.
Absolutely, yeah. So there you go. You got yours right there, and oh, I can't wait till you get Death Ray as a rote. It's such a good rote. It's perfect. Caitlan, do you need any help with
yours?
yours?
What book is that in?
This is in the Sons of Ether Revised. Or does anybody else need any help with
Yeah, I wanted to not just do like sex, drugs, and rock and roll. Plus, I have too many spheres for that. So I'm not sure what to do for entropy or life, I guess, because I wanted mine to be like some sort of mind-altering substance.
Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So give me one sec.
And then I do like time for music, because music also is really related to memory. So.
Well, it's related to memory, and the rhythm has an internal time structure, right? So if you want to stay away from some of the basics of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, I'm going to flip through Cult of Ecstasy Revised because it's a really good book. I'm just going to skip through the factions.
I also have Spirit. Spirit. I know I have 5.
So many.
Just spreading it. Spread out the love. Spread the love.
Also, guys, I'm having like the best day with this pen. I opened a new pen today, or a couple days ago, and it's like, you know when you open the perfect pen, it has the perfect flow.
Yeah.
I know. I'm such a stationary hound. So some of the foci. So music, dancing, first of all, drugs, meditation, fasting, sex, and exercise are some of the basic ones there. So
meditation is good. No, I see Robin in the chat saying meditation for entropy or spirit, and I think spirit is what I would want to do with that one.
Okay. So you could also have specific items.
Oh, that's true. That's right. Okay, yeah, I'll probably have a specific item for life, just like something from a mystic, probably
So
from like a shaman, from like
that's
a
true.
vision.
Well, and don't forget that like sensory overload. So you get psychedelic drugs. You could use
Mm-hmm.
liquor specifically
Mm-hmm. That's
as
true.
something different. You could use honestly vibes. Like you can only do spirit when you have like, or not only, but it's better if you have like mood lighting and candles, right?
Nice.
Because
Yeah.
flapper culture of that era, right?
Yeah.
Movement and dance. You've got potentially drumming, breath work. There's of course drugs and substances, which are huge in this day and age. Psychological or emotional anchors are also very big with the cult of ecstasy. You could have to work yourself up into a certain emotional state.
Mm-hmm.
So like it could be something that is everything from, I mean, sensory stimuli can range from anything from arousal and orgasm to pain and terror for the cult of ecstasy.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I used to have an NPC who would cast correspondence effects by like removing body jewelry violently. Like
Oh.
so it would do damage to his body, but he was also quite disturbed. But he would be able to rip holes in reality using correspondence by tearing like earrings out. And it was a connection there
Oh.
to break through that. But very simply, it could be something like that. It
Interesting.
could be some type of pain issue. It could be like think like Aaron Yeager biting his finger, right? Like you need that point, that
Yeah.
drop of blood to become a Titan.
Mm.
And that eventually could like that could stem into like BDSM stuff, but it could also just go into stimming and into any type of and it is a sensitive subject, but like carving body harm, but for more ritualistic purpose. So don't be
Mm-hmm.
afraid to lean a little more into some of the more esoteric elements of sensation. The entire purpose of the cult of ecstasy is that you are in a bubble and you are looking for ways to puncture it by making like freeing your mind. So there's also tattoos, like exposing or making physical contact with your tattoos does something. Seances, Jen just put in the chat. There's also there are
Mm.
I mean anointing oils, like
Oh yeah,
sensory
that's a good
stuff.
one. Yeah.
So I'll just put, there are a bunch of tools and
Okay.
objects so that I
Perfect.
just generated. Don't read them all out because some of them are
Yeah. Yeah.
custom lenses to give yourself like drunk glasses.
Oh.
Alternatively, if you wanted to have something for spirit, maybe, and this is just a pitch, you don't have to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there is something in your background, you have an item on you that allows you to cast spirit, such as a locket, a piece of jewelry, something like that. You either don't know why it is important to you, or you can't remember why it is this much resonance for you. But it
Mm.
works, and maybe that is part of your journey. Maybe it's a unique focus, and it will come out what you have repressed.
Mm. Okay.
Also,
Yeah.
pendulums are great. You could do hypnosis. Don't forget, hypnotism is huge in the 20s.
Yeah, that's true. But is Snow gonna do that?
I mean, doesn't mean that the best thing is that just because you have a little bit of overlapping foci, you're not the same character. And it also
I
is one of
know.
those things where you can work together, because the traditions have a lot of trouble with that. But you can use psychedelics with Victor, or he can make you psychedelics. Raoul and you
Perfect.
can go and meditate, and Gilbert and you can meditate too, or you and Gilbert can both hypnotize each other into doing like superhuman stuff.
I don't
That
think he'd
sounds
use
good.
hypnosis.
Okay.
I think it's more of a like an external kind of thing shows up, like spiritual guidance from beyond, as opposed to diving into somebody's mind.
Galen, I have another one that
Fair enough.
popped into my mind, and it's spirit photography.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna write all these down.
Yeah, so just sum it up when you figure
and
it
I'm
out what it
gonna-
is.
Yeah, I will.
Cool. All right. So, does anybody else need any help with some of these? What do you got, bud? What do you need?
I'm incapable of not making things mildly harder for myself, so I think I will take a unique focus.
Do it. What are you going to take it for?
For Prime.
Oh no.
Yeah. Because his mentor taught him Prime, and that's his primary like. So I'm like, if it was like a silver stave given to him, or like a wand given to him by his like House Bonnie Sagas mentor, like that could be how he learned how to do it and doesn't know how to do it otherwise. While the rest of his stuff is like based either on runes or Latin for forces, because you need forces for Latin. Latin for forces.
That sounds great.
I've learned from other people.
Bippity boppitus boomus. Cool. So if it is a wand for, if it's a wand for Prime, then it probably is gold rather than silver, just because that's what they equate to it, just like in terms of alchemical properties. But it could have silver in it as well. There's also, you could have a specific pentagram, seals of Solomon, staves, wands, a sword.
He is a huge dork, so I think this is really funny. If he has a sword, it is going to get him shot. Because damn.
Well, I mean, like, also you have mind magic, right?
Oh yeah, I have a lot of mind magic.
I mean, symbolically, a dagger is often used in mind magic because of the piercing of the mind. So, like, think of like a really sharp, like, stiletto dagger.
Yeah, like. So, like, for rituals, because
for rituals, just like pull one out on like the trolley, unless
point. So like so my paradigm is a mechanistic cosmos. My practice is high ritual magic. Like I don't love how this, like how M20 phrases it.
Yes. There's one of the faults of M20 is that I have two issues with the game, more or less. And that is the paradigm system is simplified to make it more accessible by making it, in my opinion, a little less accessible. And I don't love the paradox being so weak, but we'll get into that.
So like what I've thought about for my practice is that I'm drawing, like he envisions himself drawing magic through the shard realms of X, Y, or Z. So in this case, Mind Force is Prime. And using his tools to get it there. And the tools being either, like, I think in his own personal practice, he's a lot more used to, like, words and chanting being the primary way to do it. But that's because he's learned that on his own as opposed to what he's been taught previously. So, like having a golden wand is, like, first of all, very likely to get you mugged, which is, like, a very fun thing to have. So that might be where I
promise I won't take it away from you every episode.
Listen, if you got it, you got to. I already have a -2 on using like dark effects, so I'm really like concerned about like this character. I'm concerned for his well-being.
Nah, it's fine.
He won't be tempted by bad things. Don't worry. He's the code of Hermes to protect him.
This is true. All right, so yeah, take those. And let's get into the next phase. Let's talk about some rotes. So for those who are not aware, rotes are basically spells. They are effects that you specifically have practiced. They are a little bit easier for you. In live action play, what they used to do is they would give you the ability to attach like an ability to them for retest and things like that. We're not doing that here because this is tabletop, obviously. But just to break you out of that mold, folks, as we are going into this, I would like you to have a number of rotes equivalent to the number of sphere dots that you have. Most of you started with 6. I think one of you started with 7, or maybe even 8 because of your XP or your background expenditures. So what we're going to do is you could take any rotes that you'd like. I'd prefer it if the dots of rotes roughly corresponded to like the sphere in question. So like if you have 3 dots of life, try to have 3 rotes that include life at some level. They can all be level 1 life rotes. I don't care. But it feels like you should definitely have drawn those from life. So we can go through this pretty quickly. I'm sure that some of you have a lot of like basic ideas of what you want and what you would like to do, but I'm going to go through and suggest that you check out the book How Do You Do That and the book The 9 Spheres, both of which are accessible to you as players. I know you guys have copies of those. So in any event where the text that we use argues with a published piece of material that you use, by the way, I will defer to whatever is more fun in the moment. So, for example, in some of these, they will say maybe that you need Prime 3 to do something, whereas I go, you could probably do it with Prime 2 if you do it this way. If you don't have Prime 3, let's go with 2, right? I want it to be more fun. So, going through this, How Do You Do That covers everything from like shape changing to like mind control and things like that. It's really, really useful. I would say that, does anybody need any suggestions or help with their rotes? Okay. Yeah, Chris, let's do it, man. So I would say, please.
The one, like, I've got an idea for most of them. I just want to, I mentioned using a rote to disguise or using something to disguise my resonance.
Mm-hmm.
What sphere should I attach that to?
So that would be probably Prime 2, Mind 2.
Okay, so I might use that instead of draw from the pattern. So,
yeah,
I'll attach to Prime 2.
Let me just double check that because there is actually a rote for that in Fallen Tower, Las Vegas, which I actually don't have a copy of immediately at hand. Actually, maybe I do. Hold on, let me check my portable drive. But they really did not get into resonance as much as I really wish they would, and they didn't use it at all in M20 for the most part. So I would really love it if you all had resonance. We're gonna wrap up talking about that actually.
Okay.
Not Phelan, Fallen. Okay, so while my computer is desperately looking for that file, I would say at the very least it's Mind 2. So you want this to change your resonance, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so Mind 2 would be enough to change the resonance of your magic. I would say attach at least a dot of Prime to that so that you're changing the flavor of your magic and tying it to the magical effect.
Okay.
And I'll say that since it's a rote, and just to let you all know, the mechanical effect of rotes is they don't give you a difficulty break. When you use a rote, though, you don't take concentration penalties or difficulty increases for fast casting. So normally you would take a +1 difficulty if you're just pulling an effect out of your butt and not like, I need to do something to stop this gunman. Whereas with a rote, you don't take that difficulty. So it's nice. It keeps your difficulties low, which is what we want. So that's good. Any other ones that you want some suggestions for, Chris?
I think it's just gonna take Sonic Blast with my Bind 3 rote just because
Might
it
as
is
well.
like,
Might
yeah,
as well.
like
Sonic Blast.
probably. Yeah, I'm not gonna call it that, but that is the effect.
I mean, you know, why dress it up? It is what it is. So I do not have that book on me, unfortunately. But I believe that we can do it with Mind 2 Prime 2.
I'll stick it on Prime 2. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, no worries, no worries. All right. Anybody else need any help? I'm assuming Traz, you're going to probably want a little bit of help walking through some of these because you're a little newer to Mage. Mike, you're already
all
good.
the books right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning into the tropes pretty heavily, so it's
Perfect.
a lot of calling spirits, summoning, talking to spirits, and probably on the higher end, stepping sideways. So
Sounds good. Just remember, so there's 2 things that you need to be aware of from a meta lore perspective. Number 1 is that if you're talking to ghosts, you need a dot of entropy to throw in.
yep,
Cool. You already got that. The only thing is that you cannot physically go to the land of the dead. Well, there's an easy way to go there, but you can't come back. It's a one-way ticket, but there are ways to go there with certain very high-level rituals. I used to know this off the top of my head, but there is.
I have a point of mind, so I'm kind of like, at least I get the point across, even though I might not physically be there.
Okay, sounds good. And then you can always buy those up as we go.
Yeah.
All right. Caitlan, do you need any help with your roads? Cult of Ecstasy roads are the fucking best.
Do you want to talk about them?
Oh my god, they're so good. They're so good.
I'm looking at a website right now, so I'm just kind of like, yeah, taking a look. But
okay, so what
do you got for me?
Okay, so
I
what
have
sphere?
a couple so far. Oh, sorry.
So what spheres do you have?
I have Entropy 1, Life 2, Mind 2, Spirit 1, and Time 1.
Oh, you need more time.
I know.
You said mind?
Mind 2.
Perfect. There is one inside of the Cult of Ecstasy Revised called Tolerance, Life 2, Mind 1. Tolerance allows you to mitigate potential problems of nasty drugs. So you could overdose on you not to play this low, but you could overdose on something like heroin and be fine. You just have a hangover the next day. It basically allows you to gain all the benefits with none of the penalties for overdoing it or overindulging. It would also mean that someone could poison you. And you'd just be like, yeah, I've got a really good tolerance for rat poison.
Yeah.
I just,
tasted awful, right?
So it's a great one. As soon as you get Mind 2, Spirit 2, Time 2, you can cast Zeitgeist, which allows you to pull the spirit of an age back to you. So, for example, have you seen Sinners?
Yeah. No.
Okay, you need to watch Sinners because that actually has the casting of that spell in it. Thank you, Jen, for things. It's so good. In fact, all of you should watch Sinners in preparation for this game, even though it's set slightly further in the future. Not that I'll have a bunch of vampires just kicking in the door, but maybe. So, but unless. As soon as you get Time 3, you can use Nostalgia. You don't have Matter.
No.
You said Entropy, Mind, Spirit?
Entropy, Mind, Time, Life, Spirit.
Okay, you could cast True Form, which is from one of the books.
I have that on my sheet.
Do you? Oh god, and you can even cast the alternate version.
That's why I took the weird ass spread that I did, is because I wanted to take True Form.
Oh god.
My mind doesn't remember what it does anymore, but I remember being really excited about it.
So it allows you to see the true forms of reality.
Right, yes.
So you see, what does it do? Small bits of information about those around herself, although this information is somewhat shrouded in metaphor and layers of symbolism. You see the true form of others as they are. Cultists may see a police officer as a Gestapo enforcer if he's corrupt, or maybe money falling out of his pockets if he's owned. Something. Oh god! So basically, it gives you metaphor vision.
Kind of feels like Fey vision. Somehow I always come around to this.
You love Fey shit.
I do, and that's why I just somehow always accidentally whoops, I fade again.
Womp
womp. And then I wanted to take Gift of Maha as well.
Oh, Gift of Maha, yeah. You can totally take that. It's a beautiful one that is amazing to use on men.
Yep.
It gives someone labor pains, which is great to use on a guy. We're not expecting that. So I have the book in front of me for resonance now, Chris. So basically the way that it goes is Just checking. It's the only place that resonance is actually talked about. Prime effects can shape or channel resonance directly, the amount dependent on the power of the will worker. Prime 2 can channel resonance into a force or matter pattern, temporarily strengthening or creating a new resonance. So yeah, if you're changing it, I'd say Mind and Prime to rework it. Mind effects can readily overcome emotional penalties that resonance causes in social situations. So yeah, Mind and Prime.
That's good.
Yeah, perfect. All right. Does anybody else need any suggestions before we hop on Traz? Hop on Traz. All right. So Traz.
Wait, I only have one good leg.
Well, that's fine. You know, you'll deal. So Traz, what spheres do you have again? Let's take a peek. You have Matter 3.
Prime 2, Forces 1.
Okay. So Forces 1. So Forces 1, I would say one of the best ones for that is Electrovision. So pick a force and be able to detect it, like seeing in the dark. Night vision goggles or something like that. It's great. It's simple. It's wonderful. You could also, however, if you do, level 1 spheres are all about sensory things usually, or they're about little minor tweaks. You could also use it to like listen into people's radio signals.
Oh.
Yeah.
That actually might be more useful.
It's pretty useful, right? Like you could use it to, you could listen to tap radios. You could just have a filling that always, gets it. You could totally make night vision eye drops, as Chandra in the chat just said. You could do all sorts of things with Forces 1 like that. So I would say for Matter, a lot of the really easy ones are things like Matter 1 could be analyze an object so that you know what it's made of. You know what it is. Basically, if it has any hidden compartments, if it has anything like that, you'll be able to kind of like determine its rough strength and like structure. So that's a nice easy one. You could also do with Matter 1, you could look for a specific type of substance in an area, which is really handy if you're like, I have something that allows me to detect all sorts of metal in a location. And suddenly some guy walks in with like a guitar case full of way too much metal. And you're like, I'm pretty sure that's not a guitar.
Convenient.
So that's a really good one. You could also have it be, let's see, perceptions with Matter. I mean, there are so many different ones that you could use for that. Matter 2 is where it starts getting a little stickier because you, so at Matter 2, you can start doing adjustments within a state. So solid, liquid, etc., usually. At Matter 3 is when you can do state shifting and transmutation. So you've watched Full Metal Alchemist, you're fine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So a really good one for Matter 3 is destroy matter. An alternate side of that is repair matter. Those are nice and easy ones. Control matter is another fun one that nobody ever uses, and I love using it for an Akashic brother because it means you can control people's clothing like Jackie Chan would. Like have them punch themselves using their own shirt. Love it. Nobody ever takes that one. I adore it. So
where is that one? What book is that in?
I just made it up like 10 years ago, and I've been using it ever since. This is the thing. Like you can create your own routes. Like don't necessarily take from books. Like think about what kind of things you want to do inside of the bounds of those spheres. The 9 Spheres is a good book for kind of giving you like a rough outline of what you can do inside of those. So like what kind of things do you want him to do with matter? Do you want him to be able to like create?
I said the problem is it becomes too open for me. That's why I like reading books for references. It becomes too open, my brain fritzes.
Well, that's fine. Think if you had to what's something that he does on a daily basis or that he would be more practiced at? Perhaps
he just creates a bunch of different materials, usually household items typically. Is what he typically uses chemistry for. Okay,
so that would probably be some type of I would say you could use matter too to change one type of chemical into another. So I don't have bleach, but I can make bleach if I mix water, vinegar, and what do I have? Salt. Salt has chloride in it. It's sodium chloride. If I do that and I strip, if I ionize the bibbly bop, etc. So
Okay.
I would say call that route like chemist's helper or something like this. It means that you always have tools on you when you need them. It just might take you a couple minutes to denature certain things, or you just get a list of sciencey sounding words and use those.
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So then for level 3, repair or destroy is a good one. State change, where you can change something into a gas or a liquid temporarily. So that's always fun if you're like, I'm going to change this door into liquid. I'm going to melt this. I have a spray that turns material into it breaks down the bonds between its atoms and reduces it to its component parts. What does that mean? I turned your pants into grape jelly. You have a button that turns your pants into into jam. Use it to get away from sharks. All right. Old Susie Izzard bit. So, and then like matter perceptions is going to really kind of just, bring you around. Besides that, I would say that your last one is Prime, you said? So you've got...
Yeah, Prime. 2 dots in Prime.
2 dots in Prime. 2 dots in Prime is where you can start... Okay, so there are 2 that I would suggest for you. Number one would be Prime Sight. Real great. Level 1 allows you to see magic as it is being worked. So that means if someone is casting an effect, you can see it as it happens. And so instead of the guy just waving his arms around and going bibbity bobbity, you're like, oh shit, I see magic flowing around him, where you normally can't. Normally it just looks like a guy LARPing. It's great. Then I would suggest either taking one of these. I would suggest employ... actually, I wouldn't suggest employ Periapt. You probably wouldn't know how to use it. I would suggest enchant weapon or armor, where you coat an object with something that makes it stronger than it should be. It allows a weapon to do aggravated damage, or allows you to soak aggravated damage, and lethal damage, because it's a subset of aggravated damage, if you put it on a piece of clothing. Alternatively, fuel new pattern, which allows you to combine it with another sphere. I would say for a rote, you'd have to have a specific one, such as matter and Prime, where you can create brand new materials. You don't have mustard gas, but you know what? You can make it right now using water and salt.
Noted.
Yeah, it's pretty great. So basically if you make it from like whole hog, like you just pull it out of reality, I make you spend a point of quintessence to fuel the pattern. If you are using a little bit of something that already exists, kind of like the Sermon on the Mount with loaves and fishes, so long as you have 1 fish and 1 loaf, you can keep pulling from that endlessly by stretching the pattern out. So long as you have a little bit of the existing substance, you can keep going, whoop, oh look, there's just more of it than I thought there was. So yeah, those are what I would suggest for spheres. Or for roads.
Thank you.
No worries. So, does anybody have any concerns or ideas about the magic system before we start talking about setting? Perfect.
I just found a Ducasse wrote that lets you give your residence to someone else.
Oh my
that
God.
sounds fun.
Take it. Curse of me.
It's Prime 3. I'm so sorry. I don't have it yet.
Oh, me.
Get on it.
Get it.
Get it.
There are no consequences for this. I will
Do
never
it,
learn my lesson.
It's like, oh look, they went that way. I walked this.
All right.
This is legitimately my favorite.
Okay. So as we're going into this, I'm gonna jump further down on the list and talk about a couple of house rules real quick, just so that you guys are aware. So we do not use very many house rules in our mage games. We're using the standard engine with a couple of exceptions. The big one is that when you roll magic, 10s reroll on your Arete checks. Normally you need a specialty for that. I like my magic to be bigger. So if you roll a 10, it rerolls until it stops rerolling. So 10s reroll into 10s. I also am very generous. If that 10 rerolls into a 1, we ignore the 1. It doesn't kill the previous success. Okay? But be honest when you're rolling. If the 10 has to be the one that rerolls to ignore that 1. If you have a specialty in a sphere, which you can get at level 4, much like any other skill or attribute that you have on your sheet that is at level 4, you get a specialty. It makes things easier, allows you to reroll 10s. Normally that would do it in Magic. If you had like forces, fire, right? Then your 10s would reroll on that. Since we're already doing that, your 10s not only reroll, they count as 2 successes if you have a specialty. So fire is real fire, as we saw at the end of season 1 of Victorian Age. Wolf. So that is my sole change there. Paradox, we're using the basic rules for Paradox according to M20, which means that we are in an era of very easy Paradox. Most of your effects will generate a point of Paradox. If that, because people are stupid in the 20s. So enjoy. Also, we are using the current rating XP costs rather than the ones that we grew up with the new rating ones. What that means is that if it says new rating times or current rating times X or new rating times X or however it is in the book, that means if you have Forces 2 and you're trying to buy Forces 3, you take the, like, say it's in tradition, so it's times, God, 5 or 7. My brain. Times 7. Right? Regardless,
Yeah,
you
right.
you multiply it by the previous, like the one you're at right now. So instead, so if it was a multiplier of 7, it would be buying level 3 would be 14, not 21. Because you're multiplying by what you are currently on. You save a ton of XP this way, which is good. You're going to get real powerful real quick. And in M20, they did write current rating, but I grew up with Vampire, where in Vampire Revised, I believe it was new rating, or at least in half the books. Oh boy. So we're doing that. It's going to save you a lot of experience. Other specialties. If any of you get Life 3 or Mind 3 and want to start cranking up your stats, temporarily or permanently, if you raise your stats above 5, you get an extra specialty while they're up there. Because why wouldn't you? Like, if you're normally beautiful and you raise your appearance to 6, you can be beautiful and sexy. I'll let you have both. You know? We are going to be using Mage 20, like I said. But when Revised is more fun, we'll be using some stuff from Revised. I grew up with Revised. It's what I know the best. It's what most of you know the best. Traz, you are still learning Mage at all, so you're just going to be confused. Mage Revised is also like a third the size of this thing, so it's a little easier to find things in. We are going to be using merits, flaws, and rotes from every Mage book basically after first edition, and if you find a good one in first edition, throw it at me. I'll probably approve it if it is not totally wacko. Okay. So those are all of my rules bits. We are going to be using the basic casting rules inside of M20. You can find a chart that will walk you through it. As per my other Mage games, whenever you cast something, I will walk you through it. And if you don't need the help, let me know, and I'll just help you calculate the difficulty. If you can do the math for me, that's even better. But Mage is a complicated game, and not everybody can jump right into it remembering that, okay, so it's difficulty 3 plus the level of sphere minus my thing minus this minus that. I've been doing this on the fly for 25 years now, so like it's a little easier for me. Okay, so 1926 Seattle. Welcome. This game is going to be set in Seattle in 1926, and we'll be covering a lot of the things that I have researched about the era and a lot of things that we've just made up because it's more fun that way. As we're going into this, Seattle's population at this point is it's very white. It's There is a lot of Italian, Scandinavian, German, Greek, and Russian influence there presently. There are quite a few people of Japanese descent, less people of Chinese descent. A lot of Filipinos have recently come into the city in the 1920s, mostly male workers trying to make a life for themselves over here. And a lot of Jews escaping the pogroms of Russia, actually, which is a huge percentage of the Russian population. So in 1924 as well, we are dealing with a bit of a problem because, and obviously this isn't affecting any of your characters directly, but is part of the world. An unfortunate blemish on US history is the Johnson-Reed Act of 1924, which banned all immigration from Asia. So if they were already here, they were allowed to stay according to the terms of their stay, but it did close the door for anybody new coming. That is part of the history of Seattle. This is post-Klondike Gold Rush. Prohibition is in full swing. The Seattle Underground still exists. It is not burned down yet, or it has not been abandoned yet. Also, if you're ever in Seattle, good tour, actually, to go in the Seattle Underground. A lot of fun. So with that, I have, with the help of my chat on World Building Wednesday and with the help of Jen and Robin, have created a ton of different things around the city as well as various locations. Now, just because this is set in Seattle, it's going to be set in the greater Seattle area, basically like the entire Puget Sound. I'm assuming that all of you will have access to a vehicle, and we can talk about that in a bit. I'm going to give you a couple of details, though. So if you are going through here, you don't need to know about the Akashic Brotherhood and how they hate each other. The Chakravanti. So there are... how long has Gilbert been in the city? Does he know many of the Euthanatoi in the city?
I think I'd have to look at specifics, but I think it's only been a couple of years.
Okay, a couple of years means that you probably would. So there are presently 2 Chakravanti that are in the greater Seattle area. There were 3. Recently the master of the Chakravanti has gone missing. A woman named Miranda Desai. She has not been seen at gatherings for a while. Many fear for her life. The 2 that exist right now are a Chakravanti, actually Chakravanti, like the subset, named Lakshmi Chaudhary, who is a young Indian woman, which I will provide info to you soon. And there is a young black woman named Belle Morgan, who is part of the Mad Zimbabwe sect. They are both able to be contacted by you and worked with. Heading down to the Order of Hermes. We have so many freaking Order of Hermes. Thank you, Jen, for this. So the 2 big ones in the city that you need to be aware of that you will have to be dealing with on a regular basis are Ignis Leo Bani Flambeau, who is, you will know as Ignis Alessandro Giovanni Rossi Leo Bani Flambeau, Keeper of the Molten Heart, Wielder of the Sun's Fury.
He's got a theme, I see.
He does.
Love it. I love it.
So Ignis Leo is a very brazen, brash Italian House Flambeau member.
So he's tacky.
He's, oh my God, so tacky. And there is another one. I will give you all this information, so don't worry. Which is Bellatrix Morwen Bani Titulus, who you would know as Bellatrix Sorsha Maeve O'Connell Morwen Bani Titulus, Weaver of Fates, Unyielding Stone, Sentinel of the Crossroads. That is her shadow name.
All that?
Did you get all that? Did you write it all down?
No, I got 3 of them.
Oh, wow.
Pretentious much?
I mean, that's hermetics for you. So those are the two current well, actually, pardon me, there is a third one. The master of the house. And you're going, everyone watch Chris's face right now. So that is Veritas Lux, Bani Janissary. Also known as Veritas Anya Petrova Lux, Bani Janissary, Seeker of Hidden Truths, Guardian of the Veil, Master of the Sundered Scroll, Wayfinder of the Umbral Paths, and Bearer of the Silent Word. So that is a House Janissary is like, they're kind of like internal affairs, but they're they're the internal affairs that kill each other. Or they kill you.
Yeah, it couldn't be House Quasitor, right? Because Quasitor cares about if I follow the rules or not. Like,
yeah, Janissary doesn't check. They're just like, well, you violated your parole.
Yeah.
Also, we're totally not the Cassifry, but hey, why would you say that? I am really happy about the Cult of Ecstasy. So the characters in the city that are the Cult of Ecstasy is there's Mickey Cohen, who's a male suffragist and musician. Mickey Cohen is this little guy that, like, he's like the Jimmy Olsen of the Cult of Ecstasy. He's this little, like, barely awakened guy who shows up at things to just basically be like I kind of picture him as like the Brennan Lee Mulligan of his era.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he just shows up and is like, hey, did you know that capitalism actually exploits all workers, especially women workers, and that you need to fight for equal pay for equal work? And also, do you know, lady, that while you're working at home, you're doing unpaid slave labor for your husband?
Nice.
I don't want to tell you what to do. It's not my place. Just because I'm a man doesn't mean that I have power over you. But I have been taught this by many powerful women in my life, and I am just here to spread their word to you. Also, time to make the donuts. And then he lights a Molotov. So Mickey Cohen is like, so good.
Nice.
And then my favorite, my girl, is Isabella Mancini, also known as La Bianca Lupo, the White Wolf.
Ooh, yeah.
A member of the Dissonance Society who is a Prohibition queen and is an Italian mobster.
Oh my.
She's a mafia princess who runs a good like chunk of Seattle's Prohibition rig. And basically just like, I picture her in like white Chanel suits and like calling on hits. And her name's like Isabella Mancini, right? Like I totally, yeah, her and Leo should kiss, Chris. That's great. Let's make very Italian babies.
Kiss.
Now kiss. Yeah, exactly.
Now, presently, I only have one son of ether in the city. And that is a Professor Irving LaSalle, who is a teacher at Sulalith University, which is a fake university that we have made up. He is a utopian. He believes in the betterment and that science should benefit all sleepers as much and as soon as possible. And he is he's definitely like a chest beater about it. Like, basically,
I have absolute utopian is the one I took for my character too. So
this guy's your bro. He's about as awakened as you are. I haven't developed him a super amount, so if you have a character you'd like him to be, let me know. He could easily be Willem Dafoe, Bernie Sanders. Like, let me know.
I don't know, because I have a mentor too, so I wonder if we were taught under the same mentor.
Sir, same mentor. What's your mentor's name?
It is. Hold on.
So I know I have it in your
Tobias.
Tobias.
What is his last name?
Tobias Schultz. Hershowitz.
God, where is it on the sheet? Where is
Torture Fountain. Now, I also have quite a number of other NPCs in the city. I'm not going to tell you about the technocrats because that's not going to happen anytime soon. But I would say also that you should be aware that there are several verbena in the city. There's even a hollow one in the city at this point. They're not really the hollow ones yet, but there is a hollow one. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 dream speakers in the area. Which, surprise, surprise, are mostly people of indigenous American Indian descent at this point. And they're dope as shit. Eliza Bluejay is a great name. Also, Riverwalker with No Shadow is one of my favorite. Because it's like, they're great. They're great. You'll see. Was it Tobias Sinclair?
Yeah.
Okay, Tobias.
I found the last name.
Cool. All right. So is he the Bernie Sanders?
Probably.
Bernie Sanders. Perfect. Okay. Several verbena, a couple of Akashics, actually. There are 2 Akashics, which I'm very excited about. One is basically like Jet Li, and one's like Jackie Chan in their outlooks on things. There is an entire family of Celestial Chorus Jews from the Shever Kadisha, which I love. That was random that we just like rolled on a chart I made. So the Rabinowitz family is just full of like Jewish spirit workers. And then one Knight of Solomon, but it's going to be pretty dope. Besides that, there are a number of different places that I've created in the city, but if you want to throw things at me as well, we've got Amity Hospital. I've got a number of potential speakeasies, the Come and Go Diner, the Lemon Lime Cafe, the Lipstick Ledger, Easy Street, Jazz Junction, the Blind Tiger, the Crown, and Cloak and Dagger are all great names for places.
And we need to use them all because
we need to use them
awesome.
all, right? Come and Go Diner is just like, why is this funny? Well, it won't be for another 30 years probably, but then it's going to be great. Yeah. The Lipstick Ledger is totally an underground gay club.
Ooh.
It totally would be. Like in this era. Absolutely. Perfect. So that's kind of like the rough area and setting. Let's talk about what I want to do with this campaign, with Chronicle. So I want this to be, let's talk about tone, themes, and consent, and then we'll come back and do some cabal building and kind of like have some existing relationships and things. So this is going to be a hard R. It's going to be dark. It's going to be horrific. I am drawing a lot of elements from some of my favorite horror movies and some that scarred me when I was too young to watch them, like In the Mouth of Madness. A lot of Clive Barker stuff is floating around in my head right now because I'm damaged. I like that kind of thing. Okay. And I want to play with it. That said, we are playing a historical game. I don't want you to feel hamstrung by language. And I mean that, for one, you should feel free to swear as much as you want. Remember, swears are fine, slurs are not. And if you are in a situation where someone, like, this is one of the best pieces of advice I want to give to anybody. You do not have to say a slur to have an NPC say a slur. You can always say, he says something very offensive to you. He calls you something really horrible. It saves you tons of time, and it means you don't have to say it out loud, because you don't want to get used to saying that kind of stuff. It's a slippery slope in real life. That's why I have such a foul mouth, is because I am from a military family, and it's there. But with that as well, I don't want you to worry about historical accuracy in your speech. We're going for historical authenticity or historical vibes more than anything. So if you want to pull out a list of like, give me like 20 things they used to say in the 20s, like from like a wiki list or something like that, and be like, wow, you're really the cat's pajamas. Like, that's cool. That's optional, have fun. Now, what we're going to be dealing with here is we're going to be dealing with themes of trauma, themes of pain, themes of horror and themes of, I don't know if isolation is the right word, but definitely of themes of invasion, I think, is probably, be that physical or mental intrusion. So I think that's kind of what I am leaning toward. The game is going to be fairly violent. Any type of sexual content or any type of horror content that is okay with you is fine by me. For most of these things, we can do a fade to black. We also will be using safety tools. So if at any time you are in a scene that you don't want to go on, you can literally just say, and we fade to black or something like that. Suggest it to me. You have as much control over the scene as I do. Okay. I don't want you to ever feel that you can't like pull the emergency brake. You have the cord in your hand. You can also just drop, I just scared Caitlan by doing it, but you can drop something in our chat. What I do is a lot of people use like an X card where they like will hold up something and do like, but when we're doing a live performance, I don't necessarily want you to out yourself to the chat as the one who has a problem with something. That could be sensitive for you, and then the chat could get weird about it because this goes up on YouTube later. Patreon, you guys are wonderful, but you know, when the door is open, people say weird things. So put like an X, or honestly, it could be like just spam anything in the chat. And if it goes over 3 lines, like 3 different lines, I'll know to pause because something is up. Okay, I can always redirect. I can always change a scene. And if a scene doesn't work for you after the fact or something feels icky, we can always talk through it privately. Okay, it doesn't have to be done on camera. On particularly traumatic episodes, we will do debriefs because they are very helpful and we will talk about them. We're all friends here and I want us to enjoy this experience together. And I want this to be fun. That said, I said that sexual content can be included in this game. It is all consensual sexual content. The same as everything in any role-playing game should be, consensual between the players and the storyteller and each other. If you are not into something as a player, you do not have to roleplay it. This is a communal experience and I want us to appreciate that. And I want us to enjoy that. That said, if you want something and you're in more of kind of like a yellow light situation where like, oh, I really think our character should hook up, but I don't really want to role play it. I just kind of want to skip to being awkward the next day and then never talk about it again. Yeah, that's fine too. Like, if that makes the game more fun for you, but you still want a little bit of something, but you want like a bite of the sandwich, but not the whole sandwich. I'm not going to force feed you a sandwich. Okay. I love the consent as coffee or tea metaphor, where it's like if you offer someone tea and they say no, you don't force them to drink tea. You just go, okay, I guess you don't want tea.
I can think of like it's like in Event Horizon, there's a scene where a bunch of shit flashes on the screen real quick. It's just like a lot of bad stuff happens in a couple frames, but it's not like expanded on. You can't really see it. Like, you don't really need to go into detail what's happening.
Also, yeah, I think that's more effective. This is going to have like some eldritch horror aspects in it. If I don't describe it perfectly or even very well, it's going to stick with you harder. I have been in games where people describe like every single inch of the tentacle that is presently in my stomach. Right now, it's like, oh, and it's you, it writhes inside of you and it grabs your spleen and you can feel it grab your spleen. I'm like, oh my God, come on. Whereas you could say that with one sentence and I would remember it for 40 years. But if you take 5 sentences, I will forget it a minute later.
Not every inch of the tentacle, Kelly.
Not every inch. Just available.
I know,
Why?
yeah.
I take it all. I take it all. I should talk to you, Re the Hollow Ones. My spleen! I need that. I need my liver for living.
For stuff and things, yeah.
For stuff I need for living purposes. So lines and veils. I know that there are some lines and veils that we're going to touch on immediately. The ones that I believe we all are for is no eye stuff, no fingernail stuff, and no bugs under the skin because the mummy ruined us all as children. If there's anything else that you want to mention publicly, feel free. Otherwise, we can do it in private chat and I will just avoid them. And that said, I'm going to do my best to not touch on these things. I am human and I sometimes get excited. I have ADHD. I may overstep. Just remind me. Like, sometimes I make a fucksy do. I'm going to try my best. Fucksy do is like my favorite thing now. I just said.
Is that
I'm
a
still
thing?
caught up on
Or
every
just
inch of
make it
the
up?
Yeah, I want to use
You're
every
stuck-
inch.
You're stuck on
Look,
that, Chris.
okay. I feel like that's like an indigenous creed
He's more
from that
stuck
part
in
of
it,
my
but, like-
family. We use every inch of the tentacle. Oh, God.
Oh boy.
All right, so
Of note, I'm trying to get over my trypophobia, so I know I've said that in previous ones and then I stopped mentioning it, but I should probably just say that I'm just trying to get over it. So
sounds good.
can
I think it's also
explain
kind of
others.
harder to do trypophobia like verbally.
yeah, you'd have to like show me something because I
mean, I would
just
just say,
not
like-
imagine it as not as creepy.
Yeah, I'll just be like, it has a lot of eyes. And you could be like,
Okay.
cool, they're just further apart.
It's got like 5. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's totally fine. I also know that we are no harm to pets. Is a
Yep,
big
yep,
one,
yep.
especially dogs and cats. We had a conversation about this before game. Apparently, I'm allowed to hurt reptiles. I don't know. Maybe we'll see. The jury's out on guinea pigs. We'll figure that out. We'll come back. It's hard to hurt a guinea pig though. They're just like chill dudes. I wouldn't. It's like hurting a potato. Why would you want to do that? Big furry potato. And then no, we're not going to do harm to kids. Not just because some people here have kids, but I don't really see it figuring into the story. Child endangerment maybe, but I will never have something where you can't like rescue the kid, or if something happens to the kid, it's your fault and you made the choice. You didn't just fail a roll. It's, you know what? He'll probably swim as you leave the kid in a sinking ship. Like, I can't control
Bye,
what
kid.
you do there. Bye, kid. God.
Sucks to suck.
Sucks to suck.
Right?
Okay. He was a bad kid anyway. This is like a Willy Wonka situation. Like, he definitely was like a Mike TV, like going down with the ship. Tommy Gunn. He started a barber shop. Okay. So, last thing that I want to discuss is your cabal. So, this is a monthly game. I would prefer us not spend like 3 games setting up how you guys are all friends or know each other. I think that at the very least, if you're not an established cabal, which is totally fine, you don't have to be, you should at least know each other well enough that it's like, oh no, it looks like there was a murder most foul in my backyard. I better go call on Gilbert. He can speak to the dead. And while I'm there, I also owe Betty $5. Or Betty owes me $5.
Yeah, pay me up. Oh.
So,
Old bag.
if you
Money
want to be,
You mean?
money can be exchanged for goods and services. If you think that you want to be you want to be an existing cabal, you could be. You could be a very loose cabal. You could also be that you have been kind of like thrust together by the powers that be and be like, hey, you guys work together, do something. So what do you guys feel like?
I kind of like when it's you're forced together by fate, where something happens and you're kind of like, I don't know, like an accident, and you're all people that show up at the same time and suddenly you have something invested to move forward with.
Mhm.
Or
Okay.
somebody you knew that just suddenly like went missing or something like that.
Okay. So at the very least, you guys know of each other.
Yeah, like Victor runs a shop. I wouldn't be surprised if at least 1 or 2 of them bought stuff from him.
100%.
And at this point in time,
Betty gets around.
Mage Society does have local conclaves. Because remember, this game was designed for LARPs in many ways, where everybody would just get together at the Denny's. And then you all socialize and meet each other. So, but yes, you do need dry ice, Mike. You need like,
My
yeah,
eyes are
everything's
so
set.
dry.
For dry red ice. So, besides that, all right. So I'm totally fine with that. You guys kind of knowing of each other and then being forged into a cabal by fate. So that said, lean into each other. Like, I don't want you guys to meet up in one scene and then be like, you know what, screw this guy, I'm leaving. But also, well, exactly right. Don't be the obstinate party member that doesn't want to join in and like, I won't deal with you. You're a wizard. Meh. You're like, why are you playing D&D? But I'm not. I'm playing mage. Oh shit! I brought the wrong dice. Well, I brought one.
Don't make me say all of your names all of the time. I'm gonna get bored of that really fast.
Just make an acronym. Just make an acronym for it. Perfect.
Your name is Bob from now on.
Why's my name Bob? Victor's not that long.
Your name's Vic, because you're his victim.
So I definitely can see like how we would have encountered each other. Have we done things together before, or have we just like is this the first time?
I think that you probably have done things individually with at least one other member of the group before.
Yeah,
I think
who it was at the Cult of Ecstasy that was doing all the Prohibition stuff.
Yes,
like the underground stuff.
Yes.
Victor has absolutely helped.
Okay, so you know Bianca.
So, yeah,
and Caitlan, Betty has definitely been to one of Bianca's parties.
Yes, she probably really looks up to Bianca.
Bianca's dope as shit. I kind of picture her. Yeah. Has everybody here seen the Penguin TV show?
No.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Oh, it's real good. It's real good.
Watch.
You need to get on it. Just start watching. Just ignore your real life responsibilities and just watch all the shows I tell you to.
Ooh.
I don't know how I have time to watch them. Yeah, all right. You had me at ignore your responsibilities.
Okay.
Is that different than Gotham? Are those different series?
Yeah, it's actually good.
Oh, okay. More likely to watch it then, because I did watch Gotham and it was not great.
It was not great, except for that one guy who was actually pretty good.
Yeah.
The guy who became not Cad Bane, the guy from Jedi Fallen Order. He was pretty good. But yeah, no. Penguin's really good. It's Colin Farrell as the Penguin in like full body prosthetics and stuff. It's just a gangster show that has vague connections to Gotham City, not the TV show. But it's pretty good. But basically, there's a character who's very much like Bianca Lupa in that, and I think she's dope as hell. I'm very picturing like a Lady Gaga on half of her performances type of character, or like House of Gucci, you know. So I need to watch that. I just seen the production stuff. Anyway, so we have connections there. How would Raoul be roped into this? Because I can see that Gilbert could be a hired performer, right? Because Gilbert still has to eat. So he's probably been pulled in. I picture, Gilbert, do you do seances for people?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, well, Cult of Ecstasy, boom. There we go.
I'm picturing somebody whose name starts with a K, an L, an uncle, an aunt.
So you're not just saying that you're bad at it. Do you have a reputation for your magic, or like, are you notable for having done a lot of work with spirit?
No, but he does have like a fortune teller shop, and people are like putting the word out that it's like, oh, he said that my great grandmother, left the inheritance in wherever, and I dug it up, and guess what? It was there.
Because I definitely could see Raoul being desperate for potential solutions to his problem and looking out for people outside and like, hey, are you real? No. Oh yes. Oh, okay. Teach me your secrets, maybe, and then immediately blowing it by being a huge asshole.
Perfect.
Like,
I could imagine Gilbert is like far too nice to tell anyone that they're an asshole, and as long as he's getting like something out of the deal, then he'd like continue with it.
That definitely could be an in. Buying stuff from Victor's shop could also be like some potentially some chemicals or alchemical ingredients.
Mhm.
They're alchemical ingredients.
Where are you gonna find like powdered gold dust, right? Like,
I need a chemist who won't ask too many questions.
Yeah, you're probably the one that has the really oddly specific requests for it.
Yeah.
I need you to do it on the 13th when there's the lunar conjunction. Like, that's fine, right?
yeah, that
These
checks
cards
out.
Need to be picked at night.
At night,
It's important.
9 p.m.
Okay, so
I mean,
Raoul is
it counts.
definitely knows the verbena too. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There you go.
There are 2 good verbena in the city. I'll tell you more about them shortly, or at least in our downtime, I'll let you know about them. We got some witches.
Nice.
Oh, and some more. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Okay, so it looks like everybody has like at least a little bit of a connection to each other, so that we can start drawing you in when some bad things start occurring. And there are going to be some bad things. Now, that stated, Traz, you have a family. Yay! Thank you. I love it when players
Yay.
have things outside of just being a mage. So, also, Caitlan, you have a family that is like
I do.
you didn't make the family. They made you, but you got them.
They did. They
All right.
did. Yeah.
So connections are great. They give me something to play with, even if I don't break them. I won't fridge anybody, but I will definitely make you sweat about it.
I gave you ideas in my survey to make the character sweat or something. So have fun with that.
I will. And if anybody is curious, they're like, survey, what are you talking about? So what I do, and I suggest that everybody do this, I put together a list of questions using Google Forms. You can do this with like a document or something like that. It doesn't have to be like a Google form, but Google Forms are quick to fill out. And there are things like, I ask questions like, what's your name? What NPCs are connected to you? I usually ask for like 3 NPCs that you have to deal with and can't just throw under a bus. One of which hates you. And it's just like things like this that give me like some hooks. I find it's very useful to ask very short questions that are very open-ended, things that where I ask for bullet points, where I don't need to know everything in your backstory. I just need to know the highlights, because if we do a flashback scene, it is way cooler to play that out than to worry about being prescriptive. I would rather be descriptive with it. And that's led to some really cool role-playing opportunities with this. So I guess besides that, does anyone have any other questions, comments, or concerns about this game that's starting off?
I'm super excited.
Very
Let's
exciting.
go.
Very excited. Very excited.
I'm really excited too. So this is going to be a hell of a lot of fun, and I am excited to share this with you. So if you are watching us on Patreon right now, thank you so much for supporting us. You're all amazing. You really keep the dream alive. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, you're great too. Give us a sub if you don't mind. They're free. You can click the button down there, or you can join us on Patreon and help support the channel. This is a full-time gig, so it is always really helpful to have a little bit of extra money to be able to afford things like food. My games are ran on food, to be honest. So today is, in real life, it is July 18th, 2025. Our first game is in 1 month on August 22nd. We're going to be starting at 7 p.m. and recording here. And then it will be released in around October, I guess, October, November, somewhere in there on YouTube. And yeah, we're going to be jumping into that. Mike, again, thank you for doing the opening. It is fantastic. And thank you for doing the overlays here. I know you've been really busy with all your life stuff, and you still made time to do this and logo and all of this. It's great. I love, for one, I love not doing it myself. And for two, I love the work that you do. It's always fantastic. So thank you for lending us your artistic expertise. Everybody,
That's not going to change. So
everybody follow Mike. Make him do stuff for you, or make him do stuff for me.
yeah, that I can work with.
Yeah. Besides that, also a big shout out to our artist Brahahaga. Brahahaga also did the art for Mage the Victorian Age and Strixhaven. You can find their links in the description, and just search Brahahaga, just like it sounds. A big thank you to everybody who supports us on Patreon, starting with our divine producers. My mom, hi mom, and Shaikon Vermilion and Soul Omen, who are our divine producers. Our demonic producer is Sorcerer Sanguine. Our wizards of the Patreon are Tammy the Forever Cleric, the Ink Goblin, Karasha Urquhart, and Big Nut. Our monster maker is Larouk, and our High Council is Taryn, Amberthist, Raven with Baubles, Chef Aladeth, Mike Baxter, Brian Kaler, Nerdy Metal Gent, Grumpy Owl, Nihilus, Cookie Mon Steve, and Iron Warrior X. Y'all are absolutely fantastic, as is everybody else on the lower tiers of the Patreon that I don't have to read out every episode. I appreciate all of you so much for making this happen. The last things that I just want to say to you is that this is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to run more Mage the Ascension, and that this is not the last Mage the Ascension game that you're getting this year. This year is going to have at least 4 Mage games. So right now we have Mage the Victorian Age, which runs bi-weekly on Wednesdays and is going to be running in about a month and a bit weekly in between books of Transylvania Chronicles, so that we can get caught up and finish the damn chapter, the damn book that we're working on. Then we have Mage the Ascension Technocracy Dominion, which is another Patreon game that runs once a month, that is about a bunch of technocrats in modern day Vancouver, BC, who are trying to preserve their stranglehold over both their media empire and the secrets that encompass their family and the power struggles within. Then there is Mage Bedlam, and coming later this year, after we finish book 3 of Mage the Victorian Age, we have another game called Mage 1999, which is set in 1999 and follows a bunch of punk-ass kids that are in the middle of the Ascension War right as things go to shit. Can't wait to run that. It's going to have some definite X-Men 97 vibes thanks to the lovely logo that Mike made for us. I'm very excited about it. And who knows, there might even be more Mage in your future. So, until then, we'll see you next month. Thanks for tuning in, and I guess stay magical, everybody. We'll see you in the first episode here on Mage the Ascension Bedlam. Good night.